Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankin. This is going to be a fun one today. We're going to be talking about Kevin Bacon movies, and should be quite interesting to see what happens here. But we've got a great panel here. We've got Stephen. Stephen, how's it going?
It's going well. Too bad. My favorite Kevin Bacon role is actually a TV show, so I can't bring that up. But he's done a lot of great movies, obviously.
Also, we've got Richie. Richie, how's it going?
Yeah, good to be here. Yeah, I feel like Kevin Bacon's a sneakily good actor. He's not doesn't show up in things a hell of a lot, but when he is, he's always solid. So yeah, good fun to look.
And we've also got Kevin. Kevin, how's it going?
I appreciate you having me, Malcolm, and welcome everybody. I thought we were going to be talking about like baking like muffins, but it's all good. I do enjoy some Kevin Bacon, so yeah, let's get it going.
I mean, when Kevin acts, he always brings home the bacon. So, with that being said, how Rankin works is each going to go around and nominate a movie who think belongs on a top 12 list. Because we've only got like 4 people today, the person nominated, like their vote, like won't, so it will come down to the other 3 people on the panel. But it should be interesting. Like, I don't think there's a lot that we're going to really disagree on personally, but we'll see what happens. But Stephen, we go to you first. What's the first movie you're going to bring up? And you muted.
Sausage.
I'm eating, so that's why I'm eating myself.
Fair.
I'll bring up. I don't know how this is gonna go because I think I tried bringing this movie up when we were doing Meryl Streep movies, and I don't think it made. If I remember correctly, I don't think it made that list. But we'll see if I can get it on for Kevin Bacon, and that's The River Wild. I think that movie is a lot of fun, and I think Kevin Bacon is a really great villain. He's played his fair share of villains in his career, and this, I have to look, but this might be my favorite of all the villains that he's played. So yeah, and a whole great cast altogether because you got not only the aforementioned Meryl Streep, but also David Strathairn, John C. Reilly. Benjamin Bratt has a small part in it. I like a good action adventure, and he's a great bad guy. So, The River Wild.
Richie, what do you say about The River Wild?
It sounds interesting. Haven't seen it. I'm sorry, Stephen. I was sick.
Kevin, what do you say about The River Wild?
I actually really enjoyed this movie. Funny enough, it was Kevin Bacon's first Golden Globe nomination. I think he did fantastic in this movie. It's not my favorite villainous role for him, but he leads this movie 100%. If he's not in this movie, there really is no movie. So he just does such a great job of like sucking you in, sucking the other characters in, and then just being that bad guy. So I got to give this a yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not making the list. I haven't seen it. It's one I wanted to see. I just couldn't find it streaming anywhere.
It's hard to find.
With that, we're going to go to Richie next. Richie, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
I'm going to bring up one that I think is really good, and I feel like maybe underrated a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to go A Stir of Echoes. I think he's really good in this movie. Sort of a very psychological horror, paranoia horror. I think he's, sort of, plays a guy that's so his life still sort of slowly sort of unravels, and whereas it takes a while for people realize he's going crazy for a reason. His wife, played by Catherine Erb, who's in Law and Order: Criminal Intent. And it's just a really, really solid film, and it has you gripped from start to finish. Certainly better than the direct-to-DVD sequel, Stereo Echoes 2, starring Rob Lowe. But yes, it is a really solid film, so I'm going to go Stereo Echoes for my first nomination.
Kevin, what do you say about Stir of Echoes?
I have only seen it once, and while I think I mean I love like psychological thrillers like that, my biggest thing is it's not my favorite of his psychological thrillers. I think he has a better one that hopefully will come up. But I'm gonna have to pass on this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is another one that I heard a lot about, and I actually tried to find for this. I just couldn't find it anywhere. I haven't seen it. Stephen, what do you say about Stir of Echoes?
I would have said yes. I like it a lot, and it's unfortunate that it came out around the same time as The Sixth Sense, and as a result, it got kind of overshadowed by that movie. But it's really good, and Kevin Bacon's very solid in it. I would have said yes.
Unfortunately, it's not going to make the list. Kevin, was the first one you're going to bring up here?
First movie I'm going to bring up is a movie that also got very overshadowed due to Pixar coming alive and Toy Story. This movie is Balto. It's an animated film about a husky in Nome, Alaska, not Nome, Alaska. I don't know how you pronounce it. In Alaska. Either way, but it's a great film. Really hits the pulls on the heartstrings, and it's a movie I really loved watching as a kid. I don't think it ever really hit its full potential because of Pixar. But yeah, if it still holds up.
Yeah, so this is one I think I did watch back when I was a kid. I just don't remember anything of it, unfortunately. So I don't know if that's a case of just not living in a version of it. But yeah, so
You're a bit underwater, bro.
yeah, it
That sounds worse.
bloody hell. All right, better.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like Balto is one of those movies I
Like
think I
message
watched.
on.
It's one of those ones I think I watched when I was a kid. It just didn't leave a impression on me. I'm giving it a slight no. Stephen, what do you say about Balto?
Muted.
Unfortunately, this one I have not seen.
Oh.
My first
Oh my
one.
god!
Dang it!
I'm just, I didn't watch it as a kid, and in order for me to watch an animated movie, it's gotta look like kind of special, and I don't know.
It is special.
But
Go watch it. Everybody, go watch Balto.
I've seen it. I would
No,
have said yes.
I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
Richie, what do you say about Balto?
I would have said yes. I like it enough to make the list. So yeah, I think it's a good movie.
good deal.
All right, it's on to me. I'm going to bring up a movie I'm pretty sure no one else has seen.
Get the train going.
Yeah, right.
I'm bringing up X-Men First Class. This is one of those reboots. I didn't know it was going to be one that I didn't think was necessarily needed when it first came out. But I was like, after watching it, it's just a great movie. And I think Kevin Bacon plays Sebastian Shaw, the leader of the Hellfire Club, perfectly. Like he's definitely a great villain, um, and it's one of those ones like it, that I kind of hope they managed to get him back as a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine coming out this year, but that's yet to be seen. But Stephen, what do you say about X-Men First Class?
Yeah, I love X Men First Class. It's not my favorite X Men movie, but it's definitely up there. And the dynamic between James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender is what makes that movie so great. Um, but Kevin Bacon is a pretty solid villain in it too. Um, so yeah, I'll say definitely say yes.
Richie, what do you say about X-Men First Class?
Never heard of it. No, just kidding. Are they on an airplane or something? Yeah, I'd say yes to this. I think he's, he's great. Yeah, he plays a great villain, as you'll come to find out in maybe other nominations. Hopefully, people have seen some of his other ones where he's a villain. Especially one I'm going to bring up soon, hopefully. It's a great film. So, yay for something getting on the list.
And Kevin, what do you say about X-Men First Class?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that I have on a Stark shirt and a Star Wars hat and a Star Wars watch, and yeah, I like the nerdy stuff. So, and yeah, that one was on my list.
That X-Men First Class is going to make the list. Stephen, we go back to you.
11 to go. Let's do this.
All right. Okay. I think I'm pretty sure everyone's seen this one, so I'll go with Apollo 13. Uh, you know, probably Ron Howard's best movie, although I go back and forth between that and Cinderella Man, personally. And Kevin Bacon's really good because he's playing this guy who, kind of comes in at last minute because, um, well, Gary Sinise's character, uh, does he like is sick or something? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but it's a great movie. A lot of tension, even though of course, how it ends because it's real life. uh, so yeah, Apollo 13.
Richie, what do you say about Apollo 13?
Yeah, I think Apollo 13 is a great movie. I don't. I mean, I think Kevin Bacon's solid in it. He's not like the most. I don't think he has the most memorable role or anything, but he's still great. He's still pretty good in it. And yeah, it's a good movie. So I would say yes.
Kevin, what do you say about Apollo 13?
Yeah, I mean, when he takes over as like the pilot, and I mean, he really gives an awesome performance there, and it's just one of those Kevin Bacon performances that it's easy to forget, but it's just because he's given that many good performances. But anyway, yeah, this is an absolute yes for me.
And yeah, Apollo 13, like I actually saw it for the first time. I think it was last year. But yeah, it's a great movie. And yeah, I think Kevin Bacon's great in it, so it's an easy yes for me as well. Which was the next movie you're going to bring up?
So yeah, why not bring up another obscure one? Let's see. I don't know. I'll bring up another one of his villain roles, more sort of a modern villain role, I think. In the last few years, and I thought this movie was sort of underrated and pretty good. This director directed Spider-Man, I believe. Cop Car, really good movie. Pretty simple premise. Yeah, these kids find a sort of abandoned cop car. They go to steal it. They mess with the wrong cop here, and he's not a good guy. And Kevin Bacon plays he's very menacing. And I think it's a really kind of tense watch. Yeah, and it's yeah, I think it's a really really good film. Yeah, believe it was it Netflix original. I watched it on Netflix, but I don't know if it was Netflix original. But yeah, but yeah, I think it's deserving on this list. But yeah, as one of those more recent ones, I guess. So yeah, I would say Cop Car.
Kevin, what do you say about Cop Car?
Yeah, this one is new. It's a little bit newer to me, but when I was doing the research for it, um, I I was shocked because I always like to look at the budget versus how much the movie makes. And this film had a $5 million budget and only made 150 grand, and I was just like, that is crazy because it's a fantastic movie. I don't see. I felt like I watched a different movie than these other people. But anyway, I do believe it deserves to be on this list, and a lot more people need to go see it and pay for it.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't a Netflix movie.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Because when you see Netflix, like, was it on Netflix? And I didn't know.
I wasn't sure. Yeah,
but it wasn't. I just checked. It's not on Netflix.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, I haven't seen it. I honestly like this is one that I saw was like, yeah, I might watch it if I got time. I don't think it'll come up. I was wrong. Stephen, what do you say about Cop Car?
I thought it could come up, and it was on my list of movies I wanted to see, but I didn't get around to seeing it, unfortunately.
You're part of that $150,000. That's what. I'm just kidding.
Good. Yeah.
It is very good. Like,
oh yeah, no, I mean I don't doubt that. Like,
yeah,
like it does have a good
What?
film on
it kind of. I think it was just the timing probably that caused that.
Yeah.
But
Well, at least it got the guy, the director, that got him his Spider-Man gig.
Yeah, John Watts.
good call. Yes, John Watts. That's right.
Given what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I'm going to go ahead and put out one of my favorites, Tremors. I always loved this as a kid, and even now, like growing up, watching it, rewatching it, it's very campy. But I love the realistic or not realistic. The I can't think of the word. The animatronic, the actual the worms. But I absolutely love Reba McEntire being a part of it. She's hilarious. So yeah, Tremors is just awesome.
Yeah, Tremors is great. Like it's a movie that I definitely came to really late. Like I only saw it for the first time last year as well. But it's just one of those ones that I have a lot of fun with, and I think is great. I think Kevin Bacon's just like entertaining in it, and also with Murder Officer doesn't make the list. So yes, Stephen, what do you say about Tremors?
Wait, what was the last thing that you said? I missed it.
I said Austin or Murder Officer doesn't make the list.
Yeah, that was actually the first thing I thought of when.
This is true.
when this movie was brought up. Yeah, this movie is a lot of fun, and it's surprisingly well made. And I love the chemistry between Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. They're a great brother duo. So yeah, this is definitely a yes for me.
And
Richie, what do you say about Tremors?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be allowed back on Tournament Fights if I said no to this. So yeah, I gotta say yes. No, but it is a great movie. Even though I prefer Trimmer's Five Bloodlines actually with Jamie Kennedy. I mean, it's and that's just
I almost put up like a sequel instead. I was like, I'm going with the original, but
yeah. The originals, the originals. It is a great movie. I would have nominated it regardless, but yeah, so yeah. I'd say absolutely yes.
No, if you see no, I'll also be looking for a replacement for Lonely Max. But it comes back around to me. And yeah, for my next one, I'm going to cut it loose. I'm going to bring up Footloose. This is a really fun dance movie of sorts, and it's just one of those ones that I think it like Kevin Bacon is great in it. I think it's Sarah Jessica Parker, I believe, is the love interest in this. With
Yeah.
I think it was, and I'm pretty sure it's John. It's either John Lovitz or John Lithgow. I know
John Lithgow. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
But,
I knew it was.
Sarah Jessica Parker is in it, but she's not the love interest.
Oh,
Yeah. But it's really great. And I think it's really fun. So I'm bringing up Footloose. So Stephen, what do you say about Footloose?
A dance movie that actually doesn't have a lot of dancing in it. Actually,
that is true.
This is tough. I kind of thought, the idea of dancing being illegal is just. I mean, I know it's the '80s, so I guess it's a different time, but it just seems so silly to me that dancing is illegal in this town. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's decent. It's got some really nice moments, some really good performances. You mentioned I don't remember the name of the actress that plays the love interest, but
It's I just looked it up. I'm sorry, Lori Singer.
yeah, she's really good. Bacon, he's solid. He's very charming and likable in the movie. John Lithgow and Diane Wiest are both excellent. I'll say since we've had some big ones that didn't make it in, I suppose I'll give it a yes. I mean, it's not one of my favorite movies of his, but it's good enough to say yes. So it'll probably be in like the lower tier end of the list for me, but like 10 to 12. But
That's fair.
Richie, what do you say about Footloose?
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of my favorites either, but like I feel like maybe the chat or whatever the group would eat us alive if we didn't even at least have Footloose on here. But yeah, I think because it's just like what sort of because it was his big break. Really, I mean, you could argue another one that might bring it up later. But yeah, I think it's fun. I think it makes more it's more plausible in the 80s that dancing would be illegal, and then when they remade it in 2011 or 20, it's like, oh yeah, and now breakdancing is going to the Olympics, so they've come a long way. So yeah, I would say yes. I think it's fun. It's harmless. It's fun.
I just saw this movie for the first time, so I haven't seen the remake.
Yep.
Kevin, what do you say about Footloose?
I haven't seen the remake either, but I heard it when my wife was watching it. It sounds cool. Anyway, I agree with Richie as far as like this has to make the list, right? You can't have a Kevin Bacon top list without Footloose. But you look at the critical responses, and it's like people really think this is like it really isn't that great. But there obviously a lot of people do because, like I said, I look at the box office versus the budget and this one is ridiculous, 7.5 million versus 80 million. So, not to mention, Kenny Loggins wrote great the two great songs, the main songs. Let's Hear It for the Boy and Footloose, and then also there is the musical adaptation that played on London's West End and on Broadway and elsewhere. So yeah, you have to put Footloose on this. It's like iconic.
But that Footloose is going to make the list. Stephen, we go to you next.
All right, what's next? I'll go with Mystic River. Another great ensemble from Clint Eastwood directing it, and about this tragic event that occurs in these kids' lives. And Kevin Bacon's character is kind of out of like the three of them. He's kind of the only one that managed to escape the tragedy, without it affecting him as much as the others, because the others, didn't turn out to be they end up all being kind of messed up in their own way. Great performances, even though Bill Murray should have won the Oscar over Sean Penn. But yeah, it's a great movie, real tragedy. Only thing that makes it go down a little is when we find out who killed Sean Penn's daughter and how. That's the only scene that didn't work, but the rest of the movie is great.
Richie, what do you say about Mystic River?
Yeah, I haven't. I've got your tongue tied now. Yeah, I haven't watched. I didn't watch Mystic River like that long ago. Yeah, I know it's one that's sort of highly praised. It's not an easy watch, but yeah, I would say Kim Bacon is really good in it, and yeah, I think it's deserving of this list. Yeah, and I sort of like those Neo Noir movies, so yeah, I'll go. I'll say yes.
Kevin, what do you say about Mystic River?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Richie 100%. Anything Clint Eastwood, in my opinion, is not an easy watch, but Mystic River has such a great cast. I don't know if did you say that Sean Penn should have won the Best Actor?
No, Bill Murray.
No, I said
you thought Bill Murray should. Okay. My bad. I thought you. I was like, that's my fault. Sorry about that. But anyway, nonetheless, it was put up for 6 awards at the 76 Academy Awards. Like that's that's a good movie. So yeah, and I love like crime, drama, thriller type films. And of course it's set in Boston. It's got that feel. So yeah, this is my absolute favorite Kevin Bacon film.
I like Mystic River. It's not my absolute favorite, but I do think it's a good movie. And yeah, it's going to be a yes for me. So we couldn't get one River movie on. We got the other one. But Richie, what is the next one you're going to bring up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for unlike someone on Tournament Fights, I like people talking in rooms. Sometimes people talking in rooms is good and compelling. And one movie that's good with people talking in rooms is A Few Good Men. Good movie.
I actually thought you were going with a different one, but
maybe I'll bring that up later, Steven.
I was about to say that. Hopefully.
But yeah, A Few Good Men is really good.
Yes.
And yeah, it has a solid performance, even by like Tom Cruise, who's not sort of almost typecast as action guy, but he can deliver. He at the end of the day, he's a good actor. But yeah, Kevin Bacon is also really solid in this. And yeah, I just think it's a really solid film. So I'll bring it up. A Few Good Men.
Kevin, what do you say about A Few Good Men?
I as I got older and watched this film, to keep I'm not going to like go into a long diatribe here, but I always think that military films they have to be hard to just jump into a uniform, and you have to know okay, this is my role, and this is I can't try to be higher ranked than I actually am or whatever. But I think everybody in this film does such a great job, and the whole you can't handle the truth, and I mean, this is fantastic. It's got to go on the list.
Yeah, I think A Few Good Men's great. And yeah, I'm going to get in there before Stephen says it. It's got Kiefer Sutherland from June 4 in it. But yeah, it's a good movie, and it's really intense. So it's a yes for me. Stephen, what do you say about A Few Good Men?
Actually, did the "You Can't Handle the Truth" monologue in my high school theater arts class.
Oh yeah, so so you were Jack Nicholson?
Well, I mean, it's actually it's based on a play, so it was slightly different. But the play and the movie is written by Aaron Sorkin, the movie's directed by Rob Reiner, and it's got an incredible ensemble cast. Like Cruise and Bacon and Sutherland and Demi Moore and I can't even, I'd have to look at the cast list, but it's stacked, and yeah, it's just really gripping and riveting, and it made the Tom Cruise list, so it's only natural that it makes the list for Kevin Bacon.
That Few Good Men is going to make the list. Kevin, we go to you next. What's the next movie you're going to bring up?
Okay, the next movie I'm going to bring up then is damn, we're getting a little deep here. We've been going on a decent roll. I'm going to go with one of the best Netflix films ever. It's Leave the World Behind. It is a film that was made in 2023. Features quite a few, famous people, but Kevin Bacon is one of those. But it's an apocalyptic film, and I think it just shows a great sense of where we're at right now in the world, and what the world might look like if something were to happen like that. So I'm going to go with that.
I mean, first off, calling it the best Netflix movie of all time is a bit.
I think it's ranked like the number 8 Netflix movie ever. So that's why I said that. But
no, I thought you.
No. I was going off of facts, not
But yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. It's one of those ones it kind of surprised me last year when I saw it. And it's actually one of the few Netflix movies that was actually released in theaters as well.
True.
Before week is I was going to watch it when it was out. But I didn't get around to it in time. But yeah, it's one of those ones the ending kind of left a little bit anticlimactic to me. Was it just ended it really wasn't much there, but I think it's a good movie, and I think Kevin Bacon's pretty good in it, so I'm going to say yes. Stephen, what do you say about Leave the World Behind?
So I have Netflix, So you would think that because I have Netflix, I've seen a lot of Netflix movies, but I actually haven't.
There's a lot of them. It's
Yeah.
fair. It's a fair point.
I'm pretty sure one comes out every week and they just bury them.
I agree. I agree.
So unfortunately, even though it does have a top flight cast, I mean Julia Roberts is in it, and
Yeah.
uh, um,
I couldn't
Demi-
even think of the names, but
but unfortunately, this is one of the Netflix movies I haven't seen.
Richie, what do you say about Leave the World Behind?
Yeah, I like this. I like this film a lot. I do think because if you look at some as like sort of more recent movies, there's mixed bag. Um, one I'm certainly not bringing up. It could be if we were doing worst of, which we would never do. I'd probably bring that up. I'll maybe talk about later. But yeah, this is one of his better ones. So I think we need more sort of modern ones on here. So I'd say yes, it's a good movie.
That Leave the World Behind is going to make the list. And with my it goes to me for my next one, and I'm going to bring up the other people in rooms talking movie. And that's
Okay, all right. Can we say it together? Is it one? Is it the opposite of awake?
Sleepers.
Oh, that's actually not the one I was thinking.
Okay,
No.
which one are you thinking of?
I'm bringing
Well,
up.
I'll let Malcolm say which one.
I was gonna say, let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
You know, I'm bringing up Frost Nixon.
That was the one.
He's
Yeah.
like
Frost Nixon.
Oh,
I was way off. Sorry.
But yeah, like this is one of those movies that I don't know why I didn't see when it first came out, because like these kind of movies kind of intrigued me, especially like with this one. Because I've heard a lot about the Watergate scandal and that like from school and that, but it's just one of those ones like I didn't go see this, but it's a really good movie, and like and Kevin Bacon plays Jack Brennan, who's the chief of staff, and I think he like doing this interview between David Frost and Rich Nixon. I think, and Franklin Jella is really good as Nixon too. Like I've seen a lot of people try to impersonate Nixon, but not successfully. Though I think Franklin Jella got those mannerisms down, and I think it's great. But Stephen, what do you say about Frost Nixon?
I mean, I love Dan Hedaya's performance as a Nixon. But yeah, no, this is it's a really good movie. Michael Sheehan and Franklin Jeller are both excellent, and this movie kind of became more important recently with the recent Supreme Court decision.
Richie, what do you say about Frost Nixon?
I say when the president does it, it's not illegal. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's.
Supreme Court just recently kind of said that that's kind of true.
Yeah, It's I love the movie. I just consider it. I mean, and Kevin Bacon's good in it. But I just when I think of the movie, I think of more a acting showcase between Michael Sheen and Franklin Jella. But it is a really good film, so I will say yes.
Kevin, what do you say about Frost Nixon?
I am in the same realm as Richie. It's an excellent film, and when I think of it, I also think like the Sheen versus Franklin Jella, mixture there. I think of Toby Jones does a great job. Kevin Bacon does a great job. There are actors in this movie that do a great job. It's just like. And I do want to comment also on the like historical accuracy. I think they did great with being as accurate as possible, and then the behind the scenes stuff they took as much, I guess, leeway as they could. So Ron Howard did a good job with that. So I mean, as far as being a great film, this is a great film, and I'm gonna say yes to this.
Yeah, if that Frost Nixon is going to make the list. Stephen, what is the next movie you're going to bring up? Got 4 spots left.
4 spots. Wow. In 2007, 2 vigilante type movies came out, and the one that I thought would be the better one, actually, because it ended up pulling its punches, I thought at the end wasn't as good. But the one that Kevin Bacon is in I think is actually really good, and that's Death Sentence. And he's definitely he's not an outright villain up because he's the protagonist, but he's definitely an anti-hero, and I think it's really good, and where they go with his character, I appreciate it and really liked, and I think it's a really good movie.
So, what movie was it, Stephen?
Death Sentence.
Death Sentence.
Richie, what do you say about Death Sentence?
I'm glad you asked me to repeat because I didn't hear either. Yeah, I actually haven't seen this, so I feel upset.
Kevin, what do you say about Death Sentence?
Unfortunately, I'm also gonna have to abstain. I'm looking at the wiki now, and it looks good. I'll try to catch it ASAP, but unfortunately, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I also haven't seen it. So unfortunately, it's not going to make the list. Richie, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I'm going to bring up a guilty pleasure. I don't know if this is going to work, but fuck it. I could bring up the obvious one that I kind of gave away before, but I've got a feeling it'll come back around. So yeah, I'm going to bring up one that I just have a lot of fun with. It spawned a couple of direct-to-DVD sequels. Aren't great, but I still have fun with them. I'm going to bring up Wild Things. I love Wild Things. It's fucking stupid and fun. With Denise Richards, Nev Campbell, Kevin Bacon, and Matt Dillon. Yeah, Kevin Bacon's like this, it's a cop who a bit more, might be a bit more dirty than you think. And then that's basically the whole kind of format of Wild Things. It's like, hey, things aren't what they seem, the twists, and then it all, it kind of unrails at the end, like how things came about. But yeah, it's so wacky. I wouldn't say the acting is great, but it's just a fun watch. It's very 90s, and I like it a lot. So I will say Wild Things and see how this goes.
Kevin, what do you say about Wild Things?
That is definitely throwing out a wow. And I totally remember watching this when I was way too young to watch this. I do not know if I I don't know if I can say yes with only 4 spots left. That's what's tough. Shit. Nev Campbell, though. Yeah, I'm going to say yes, and I'll let you guys say no.
Yeah, this is one I actually watched for this because it was I found it on a streaming site, and it's interesting, and I liked it. I thought it was really entertaining. I just it's one of those ones I didn't expect a lot of, but it really surprised me. And looking at what I've got on my sort of high up on my list, some of them I don't know if they'll get on. So you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna give it a slight yes. Stephen, what do you say about Wild Things?
It has one really good scene, and I think you guys know what scene I'm talking about.
I definitely know.
Yeah.
Can we just say we're just putting that on for that scene?
But I don't think, as much as I enjoyed that scene, I don't think I don't think I can say yes to this movie based on that one scene alone. I don't know. I don't. It's not as trashy fun as I would have liked it to have been. It's kind of dull. I thought it was kind of dull, to be honest. But it has been a while since I've seen it, and I know it's on Netflix, so I might give it a rewatch just to see if I like it better now than I did back in the day. But yeah, I found it to be kind of mediocre, to be honest.
I kind of
Both
thought
that
the
what
same went wrong as like for some reason like Jawbreaker, really dumb movie that is like got a twist at the end. But anyway, I don't know. You have to be in the right mood. But fuck, this movie is just entertaining as shit.
but with that, Wild Things is going to make the list. Given what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I got a couple directions I want to go. I'm gonna go with let's go with Black Mass. Um, Another great like crime drama about Whitey Bulger. I'm sure everybody knows the story. Scott Cooper did a great job with directing this, and the cast is unbelievable. With Johnny Depp leading, Joel Edgerton, Cumberbatch, Kevin Bacon, Peter Skarsgård, Dakota Johnson, and others. But this movie was unbelievable. I've seen it a number of times, and it holds up so well. It won some awards, not like Academy Awards, but some other awards. So yeah, I'm gonna put up Black Mass. See how it holds up.
Um, yeah, this is what remember that I've seen this. I do think it's a pretty decent movie. But it's also one of those ones that unfortunately I don't remember Kevin Bacon's role in the movie that well. Like I get that he's in it because like he's on the
Yeah,
cast list, but like these other cast members too. Because like, I completely forgot Benedict Cumberbatch was in this
a
as
lot of
well.
people.
Well, he's one of the
Um,
main dudes, his brother.
Yeah, he is.
yeah, well, yeah. No, but no, it's one of those ones like I'm not gonna lie, but like it's just one of those ones like I know, like I always John Depp is the only one that comes to my mind straight away when it comes to Black Mask, but obviously it's because it's the lead, but it's just one of those ones that um. So I'll give this a slight no, but Stephen, what do you say about Black Mass?
Mm, this is tough. Because it is a really good movie. Um, and I do remember him in it. It's not like
Yeah,
'cause there is one movie on my list where it's a very small part, but he's very
yeah.
memorable in it.
He's like the boss of the I don't know, the whatever the
I'll let Richie be the deciding factor, and I'll say yes, just because it is a really good movie.
So Richie, it comes down to you. What do you say about Black
Yeah,
Mass?
damn, this movie's great. Um, yeah, and he has a really small role. Um, yeah, tough. But yeah, it is. I do remember it. I think it's memorable. How many got spots? Yeah, one, two, three, four.
three left. Yeah.
There's nothing really. There's only really one that sticks out to me. That's not something that needs to be on here. So one else. So I'll say yes.
Sweet.
That Black Mass is going to make the list. It's on to me for my next nomination. And I'll bring up the other movie that one of the other movies that I did manage to watch for this that is another one that I just completely missed for whatever reason when it first came out. But and it's Patriots Day. Another Boston centric movie. But and this is one of those ones that like it's also very relevant for today for all the shootings and that like sort of happen around the world and stuff, but and bombings as well. But yeah, this is like it's based on the Boston Marathon bombings from 2013. And it's one of those ones that I remember a lot about when it happened. It's just, but this movie I think is a really good sort of depiction of that and it just does a really good job of sort of showing the impact that it had and all that. And I also appreciate the fact that like unlike other sort of real life events type movies, like they do hit the montage at the end, like um showing all the like doing like a eulogy to all the victims and that like this is and I think that's a really good touch as well. Like just like but so yeah, it's a really good movie and I think Kevin Bacon is pretty good at it as the agent in charge of the FBI office in Boston. But Stephen, what do you say about Patriots Day?
This was another collaboration between Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this one is the one of their collaborations that I haven't seen, so I'll have to abstain.
Richie, what do you say about Patriots Day?
Yeah, I really like Patriots Day. I don't know what ranks on my the Matt Wahlberg Peter Berg collaboration. Certainly better than Mile 22. I'll say that. That's the worst one. Um, but yeah, it is really good. Melissa Benoist is good in this movie as well. Yeah, and Kevin Bacon is great. I need a couple of spots, and then I'm like, no, and then I just saw him another movie that should be on here. And I'm like, ugh. So I'm like, oh god, but Patriots is good. If I get let the comment section have at it, I'll say yes.
Kevin, what do you say about Patriots Day?
I am super mad at myself that I have not seen this movie. Like, I'm looking at the cast list: David Ortiz, the bassist and the singer for Dropkick Murphys have cameos, but not only that, like talking like Mark Wahlberg, Kevin Bacon, J.K. Simmons, John Goodman. I mean, I don't know how I've missed this, but I don't. It just has slipped through the cracks on me. So I definitely will find it.
But unfortunately, Patriots Day doesn't make the list. Stephen, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Do I go for the better movie or do I go for the one that he has the bigger role in? I'll go with the one that he has a bigger role in because it's still a good movie, and that's Flatliners. Um, this was him and Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts and William Baldwin and Oliver Platt. It's a good cast. It's a cool concept. Never did see the. Is it a remake? Is it a sequel? They came out some like what 5 years ago or whatever. But this one's really good. It's got some good imagery and good atmosphere. Um, it, so yeah, I mean, there's another movie of his that I think is better, but he's only in like one scene, but it's a memorable scene. But this is still really good too, so that's why I'm going with this one.
Richie, what do you say about Flatliners?
Yeah, I would sort of Flatliners is okay. Again, probably a theme of this, certainly better than the remake. Remake is woeful. But yeah, yeah, it's like the remake's got what Kiefer Sutherland playing a different person. Something weird. Uh, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. I just thought it was okay, and we've only got like only a couple spots left. I just think there's a couple left on the docket that on that we haven't brought up that should probably be slotted in there. So I'm gonna say no, but I don't mind Flatliners. It's fine.
Kevin, what do you say about Flatliners?
I am of the opinion. I don't know if it's because I work in the medical field or what, but I love Flatliners. I was talking to my wife about it today, and I was like, it. I don't know if I had the ability to do what they were doing. Like, would I try it? Would I do that? I mean, it's it is an interesting thought, and I love movies that make you think like that, and that is definitely right up my alley. So I'm gonna say yes.
Um, and especially for me, in the theme of I tried to find this for this, but couldn't find it. I've only ever seen the remake, unfortunately. um, um, so yeah, unfortunately, I haven't seen it. So unfortunately, Flatliners isn't in my list. Richie, what's the next movie you're going to bring up?
We'll bring on one of his earlier ones. Um, Again, I feel like maybe we should put it on here. Great flashback. Friday the 13th. Uh, don't look at me like that. Don't. Hey, I see your face, Stephen. Uh, I still think Friday the 13th is a good movie. I don't think it's like the best out of the franchise or anything like that. But I think it's like it's probably important to document like where he sort of got his sort of. I guess he blew up and with Footloose, but this is sort of probably the bigger film that like the big film that that first sort of he became notable from. So yeah, and I think he's good, and it's like he had a good mullet. There you go. Uh, uh, and so yeah, I think it's fun, but yeah, like so yeah. Look, it's not going to rank like highly on my on my list if it gets there, but yeah, I think it's worthy of inclusion. So I'll go Friday the 13th.
Kevin, what do you say about Friday the 13th?
I mean, I have it on my list. Now that, well, yeah, unfortunately, Flatliners didn't make it. It's not a giant part. He didn't make the movie. He wasn't the killer. Spoilers, but it he gets the job done, and it's like Richie said, he has a killer mullet. So I will say yes on this because it ends up being a great franchise, and I think it's his start. It's that start, and maybe that is the success.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Kevin Bacon's earlier roles, I never expect him to have a big part in these anyway. Like, this is when he's starting out. So, and yeah, Friday the 13th is great though. And I think Kevin Bacon is really good in the movie too. So it's going to be yes for me as well. Stephen, what do you say about Friday the 13th?
Suck it, Steven.
Yeah, it would have been a no for me. I'm sorry. I know this is considered a classic in the genre. I've never liked it. I'm not really a big fan of the Friday the 13th franchise in general, to be honest, even though I love Freddy versus Jason. But that's also because I'm a big Freddy fan. I'm not really a big Jason fan, although he's not even the killer in this movie. and the actress who plays his mother, I thought she gives a really awful performance.
Yeah. But with that, Friday the 13th is going to make the list. Kevin, we go to you for your next nomination.
All right. This is difficult because I had Friday the 13th up on my list, but that's all right. I have some other stuff ready to go. Last one though, so this is difficult. I'm gonna go for kind of pulling on the heartstrings, a little bit of comedy drama. Um, My Dog Skip, um, narrated by Harry Connick Jr. Based on an autobiographical book of the same name, and it tells the story of a 9-year-old boy as he's given a dog for his birthday, and the dog changes a lot of aspects of his life. I think it's just a very touching movie. It has its ups, it has its downs. It's a family movie. I mean, that's the best way to put it. And Kevin Bacon does a great job. Um, and like I said, it's just um, with I think any movie that is like a dog movie, except for whatever that dog movie is that where she dies at the end. It did. My Dog Skip though is a good movie, and I think it deserves a movie like this deserves to be on the list.
Unfortunately, I just haven't seen it. It's one of the few dog movies that I've heard of a lot, but just it's maybe hard to find. I don't know. Couldn't find it anywhere for this. Stephen, what do you say about My Dog Skip?
Let me guess, the dog dies at the end. But I haven't seen it. I mean, sometimes those animal movies can be good, sometimes, but uh, I don't know. This one I just never really got around to seeing.
Um, Richie, have you seen My Dog Skip?
I haven't even put posters up. I probably wouldn't be here, man.
The dog dies at the end. Okay, that's the story. I mean, come on, Pete.
But yeah, I haven't, but I know of it though. I think my dad owned a video store back in the day, and it was in there. But
Yeah, it was one of those that like you watch like in between two good movies. But no, I totally agree. I'm good with that.
Hey, Kevin.
Right, spoilers. I'm sorry, spoilers.
I mean, I said it first, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you guessed.
Well,
I
to be fair, the way you worded it. Although in saying that, with the recent movie After the King that came out, I thought the same thing was going to happen, which is not the case. Surprisingly enough. It's actually a little bit tough for me because
I'm like,
there's one that's really high up on my list but he's only got a small role in it. I'm going to try for it, see what happens. I'm bringing up Animal House. It's not a big role, but Animal House itself is a good movie.
Sticking with the facials again.
I'll say why. It's not because I don't like it or anything.
And yeah, like Kevin Bacon is not a big role in it. Like, he plays one of the people in Omega House. But yeah, so but it's just one of those ones. Like, looking at the movies I've seen, like there's a few that I don't know. If I bring them up, I don't think they'll make it on anyway. And some I don't know how they're going to go. But Stephen, what do you say about Animal House?
Okay, the reason for my face is I don't like having to, but I have my fair share of blind spots, and I know how much people love Animal House, but I just haven't seen it.
Richie, what do you say about Animal House?
Yeah, was the like I said, when I realized there's two that I think should make the list, even though Kevin Bacon has just more on both of them. One was Friday the 13th, the other one was Animal House. So I would say yes.
Kevin, what do you say about Animal House?
I am gonna say that I debated for like a long ass time on this movie, just because of the length of the time he spends on it, and he's not even really listed in the who's in it. But it comes down to me that this was his first prominent film role, and to me that's got to be something. So if you're gonna have a list, you put somebody's first film role on there, right? So I'm gonna say yes. I'm a big National Lampoon fan, so.
But that does bring us to the end of the list. And just quickly, I will slightly disagree with Kevin's logic of it's his first film role, so it must make the list. Because for every actor, that may not always be the case. Like, although I think when Bill Murray did manage to get memes on the list, weirdly enough.
Yeah, for Leo, I had to put Critters 3 on here because when it's.
For James Cameron movies, it's Piranha 2, even though he didn't really direct anything on it. um, um, but if that was, let's get some honorable mentions out the way. Stephen, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
Okay. I think I didn't bring it up because he's only in one scene, but it's a great scene, and that's I think Oliver Stone's best movie, JFK.
Agreed.
And also another small part, but memorable part because he plays the person that is the driving force for the court case, and he's plays such a vile, loathsome, evil person, and that is Sleepers.
Dang it, man. I actually he's a sick individual in that movie. I actually wanted to put that on this list.
Okay. Hollow Man is not a great movie, but it's kind of a guilty pleasure. He's fun in it. Another not great but kind of fun thriller was Trapped. His role, I never would have brought it up because his role is too insignificant, but I enjoyed Crazy Stupid Love, and and one that just came out that is an Netflix movie. I really loved as a fan of the franchise, and I really loved him. He's a good bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
Richie, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
He's pretty much brought up a lot of the ones I was going to say, but yeah. So I would have, yeah. Even though his roles in significant, also the Crazy Super Love as well. Super with Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page is real fun, and he has a fun role in that. Things like probably a guilty pleasure is the air up there, the basketball film. I wouldn't put.
I put that on my list. Right. You can't.
He's got two movies on his filmography with air
awesome.
in the title because he has something called The Air I Breathe in his filmography.
Oh yeah. Dude, he's got so many like roles. This was hard. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Quicksilver's okay. Not the not about the Marvel hero, but yeah. And you know what? I mean, he did another movie J. Jamon Honsu called Elephant White, which is okay. And I might have brought up they them. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, I saw that too actually.
And then the John Hughes film, she's having a baby, is alright. Yeah.
Kevin, any honorable mentions that you want to shout out?
Yeah, I got a few. Steven and Richie covered most, but he had a small role in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles that I enjoyed.
Oh, the taxi roll.
Yep, the taxi role. Yep, Queen's Logic. I like Criminal Law. The new Maxine movie. Actually, haven't seen it, but I have seen a lot of the promos, and it looks good. R.I.P.D. I know a lot of people forget about that movie or hate that movie. Whatever. I like that movie. Send me a inbox. Novocaine is one. It's a 2001 dark comedy with Steve Martin and Laura Dern. And fun fact on that Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Kevin Bacon wanted to do that role so badly because he's never worked with Eddie Murphy, and he really wanted to do that role. So, yep, good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if I think everyone's already pretty much covered that. One of the only ones that probably that wasn't mentioned is a 90s rom-com Picture Perfect with Jennifer Aniston. I think he's great, and I kind of enjoy that. And then what I actually watched all this, which I randomly found on Amazon Prime, is a movie called End of the Line, which is a really early 80s movie which he did with Wilford Brimley. But yeah, that's not one I probably would have. I would have only nominated if I was running out of ideas. But with that, it's time to get to voting. How the voting works is each nominated movie we think belong to be no. We vote on movies we want to go at 12, 11, etc., etc. And then if it has the most votes, it makes that spot. Stephen, what movie do you want at number 12? Richie, what movie do you have for 12?
Look, as much as I like it, I'll concede and I'll put Wild Things on. Sure.
Kevin, what do you have for 12?
Animal House.
Yeah, which means we've got a four-way tie because I put Black Mass.
Okay.
So we go to the chat. Friday the 13th, Animal House, Black Mass, or Wild Things. Which one do you want at 12? I will get a reel ready just in case no one gets in quickly enough.
I mean, I'm okay switching my vote to Wild Things.
I mean, it's up to you. If you want to do it, do it. Otherwise, I'll get the real.
Sure, I'll go with Wild Things.
Wild Things. All right.
Wild Things is going to be, and you're lucky because chat came in very quickly. It would have.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll be.
That's a pretty small role, actually. So not a bad choice.
Richie, what do you have for 11?
Friday the 13th can go here. Wow.
Kevin,
I'm gonna stick with Animal House.
sticking with Black Mass. Friday the 13th is going to be at 11.
Good. Right. Okay, now.
Kevin, what do you have for 10?
Shockingly, I put Animal House, which you can't. It doesn't say Animal House anymore because I'm an idiot.
Sticking with Black Mass. Stephen.
You muted.
I normally don't vote for movies that I haven't seen, but since he does have a very tiny part, I'll go with Animal House.
And Richie.
Yeah, I'll go Animal House.
Okay. What's this there?
Sticking with Black Mouse, Stephen.
Footloose.
Richie.
I'll go Black Mass. Yeah.
Kevin.
Black Mass.
Black Mass is going 9. Someone beside an airport.
No, oh no, it's thundering at my house like crazy. It's
Oh.
it's storming. It's storming bad.
No, it just sounded more like an airplane taking off.
Oh, duh.
But Richie, what do you have for 8?
Yeah, I'll go Footloose here.
Kevin, what
Can you come? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Footloose actually too, but I didn't write it.
I'm going to Leave the World Behind. Stephen.
Footloose.
And that is number, so Black Mass was 9. So
Kevin, what do you have for 7?
I guess it doesn't matter if I write it down. Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind. Stephen.
Due to his role not being as large, I went with Frost and Nixon.
And Richie.
I'll go Leave the World Behind.
Please don't. We need you here.
Yeah, if my power goes out, I'm sorry. Well, I'll probably be okay, but I may not have internet. Yeah.
Yeah. But Stephen, what do you have for 6?
Sticking with Frost Nixon.
Richie.
Yeah, I'll go Frost Nixon here.
Kevin.
Yeah, I decided to go with Cop Car here.
It didn't make the
Okay,
list.
He didn't make the list.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Yeah, I moved it to the list. That's my bad.
We've got X-Men First Class, Apollo 13, Tremors, Mystic River, A Few Good Men, and Frost Nixon.
Yeah, I thought I was moving them down as we were doing it. That's totally my fault. I will go with Frost Nixon since that's the next thing I have on my list.
But I've got X-Men First Class, but Frost Nixon is going to be 6. Richie, what do you have for 5?
Yeah, I'll go X-Men First Class.
Kevin, what do you have for 5?
X-Men First Class.
X-Men First Class. Stephen.
Wow, it's X-Men First Class.
This is tough. This is really tough. Okay. Holy shit. We got 4 left, is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mystic River, A Few Good Men, Apollo 13, and Tremors.
All right, cool.
And I'm going Mystic River. Stephen.
I love this movie, but A Few Good Men.
I hear you, man.
Richie.
A Few Good Men.
And Kevin.
It's a great movie, but there's A Few Good Men.
that leaves Apollo 13, Tremors, and
Mystic River.
Mr. Quiver.
Stephen, what do you have at 3?
I didn't have time to write anything down. I'll go with Tremors.
Richie, what do you have for 3?
Mystic River.
Ooh,
Kevin,
Apollo 13.
Mystic River.
Oh, that's my favorite, man. At least I didn't put it off.
So now we got number 1.
Yep,
Oh, you're right. Number 1, I got it.
and it's between Apollo 13 and Tremors.
The better role or the better movie?
The better movie. Well,
Richie, what do you have for number 1?
Tremors.
Kevin, what do you have for number 1?
my number 1 is Tremors.
I'm voting better movie, Tremors.
Hell yeah.
Stephen.
Apollo 13.
That Tremors is going to be number 1. Austin will be happy.
Hell yeah, me too.
I mean, he would have been happy just because it made the list.
Yep.
But just to recap our top Kevin Bacon movies, at 12 we got Wild Things, at 11 we got Friday the 13th, at 10 we got Animal House, at 9 we got Black Mass, at 8 we got Footloose, at 7 we got Leave the World Behind, at 6 we got Frost Nixon, at 5 we got X-Men First Class, at 4 we got A Few Good Men, at 3 we got Mystic River, at 2 we got Apollo 13, and number 1 we got Tremors. But that is the end of ranking this week. Next week is going to be a big one because it's going to be the 300th episode of Rankum, and we're doing top 12 action movies of all time because over the past since Rankum started, we've been doing like insert genre movies of the decade. We've finally finished action movies earlier this year with 60s and 70s. So it's now time to do an all-time list, taking the top 12 movies from each of those lists, and seeing which ones people think should be the top 12 of all time. But that is what's going to be happening next week. I honestly can't remember if all those movies made these respective lists. Honestly, I just grabbed a random picture of action movies. But yeah. So that'll be next week. Stephen, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Letterboxd at sshepard82.
Richie, where can people find you online?
Yeah, I'm here on Network 205. I co-host Will on Movies with Austin Pessow, Lonely Marks with Austin Pessow, JPO and Jacob Barber. That's on it's on Lonely Marks channel. Check that out. Where we'll be recapping Money in the Bank and then doing a worst giving draft. Should be fun. And yeah, I think that's sort of coming up in as far as the near future goes. So. Yeah, check me out
there. Kevin, where can people find you online?
I kind of run TMG trivia with Jacob West. Kind of right now, we're not doing a whole lot. We're doing a little like game night every now and then, but we're looking to restart the Teams League, get Geek started back up soon. So yeah, we got things starting up pretty soon here. So, but yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd. Just check that out and give me a follow. I'd appreciate that. And you can find that right there. Appreciate it.
And you can find me on Tape for Productions as well as Rankum every week. Next week is going to be the 300th episode. And you can also find me popping up over on the Movie Hero Network. I'm pretty sure I'll be there on Friday for Chris got the final part of Chris Scott's 128. At least I think that's the plan. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. But you can also find me. I also host trivia over on Full Metal, and you'll find Stephen taking on Alec Miller at some stage. Just have to finish writing that match and get it done.
Yeah, I didn't mention
uh,
that because I don't know when that's happening.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention it anyway because I always like letting people know when they've got matches coming up. There's still matches to drop anyway, which I'll get onto those as well. You can also and you can find me on with my new show Spear from the Past, which is on my personal YouTube channel. Tomorrow I've got Jake and Cameron on to talk about 2005's Judgment Day, and um, yeah, but with that, um, just keep watching movies and banking shit. Um, find a
I live my
figure out.
life a quarter mile at a time.